National Park. This park is located close to Canada. It's in the northeast section of Maine. It's spread across various peninsulas and islands. There's a ferry there that will take you from different island to the different peninsulas, and we can get into that a little bit later. I do have tons of notes, so if you see me looking down, I apologize, but there's a lot to get into, and I'm bringing you all those details. So like I was telling you, the seasonal ferries will take you from Mount Desert Island to the Skoonik Peninsula and down to Ilut, which is an island that you can take a ferry to from Stonington. And there are campgrounds located throughout these different areas, and we'll get into that. So as far as the campgrounds are concerned, you can reserve them online. You can't book them between October 17th and May 7th. They're $30 a night. There's no electric. It's a 10-minute walk to the ocean from Blackwoods. So when you're there, your pass must be displayed May through October. That's generally when the parks are open, when the campgrounds are open and ready for you to reserve. All campgrounds are closed outside of the season, and that season again is May through October. The campgrounds are reservation only. I recommend that you do so online. Check-in time is at noon. Checkout time is before 10 a.m. They stress before. If you're arriving after hours, check in at the ranger station the next day by 10 a.m. You can't stay there more than 14 days at a time either, and you can't reserve more than 30 days in an entire year. So if you're planning on doing a trip and you want to do it twice, well, you're going to have to plan them apart, not all together, and you're going to have to you're only allowed to stay there for 30 days in an entire year. So you're going to have to make sure that you plan your trips apart. So there are entrance fees to get into the park itself, and you have to pay those either at the campgrounds or at the information centers. There are 2 information centers that you can find on the way from the airport, Hancock Bar Airport, into the park itself. So here are the costs. For a vehicle with multiple people inside, it's $30, and that lasts you for 7 days. If you're just an individual, that's $15, and if you're on a motorcycle, that's $25. The park speed limit is 35 miles per hour. Make sure you adhere to that. You can also bargain for some free days like National Park Week. So Hancock Bar Airport is 10 miles away, and Bangor International is 50 miles away by car. Flying to Bangor International is going to be cheaper. It's an international airport. If you're driving from Mount Desert to the Skoonik Peninsula, that's just one mile drive. The ferry that I was talking about is called the Acadia's Island Explorer. It's a shuttle service that's free, and it provides transport between all the park destinations in Cadillac Mountain. It stops at all of the different campgrounds and trailheads too. If you're just there on the side of the road, they might stop for you if it's safe to do so. Just flag down the driver. Hey, what's up? I need a ride. So when you take the ferry, it helps reduce pollution and the congestion that can happen when there's tons of cars on a mountain. We've all seen it. There's one-way loop that takes you around the entire park. That loop is 27 miles long. So the ferry operates June 23rd through October 11th. If Cadillac Mountain is in your sights, I suggest the Blackwoods campground. Cadillac Mountain is 1,500 feet in elevation. There's a trail from Blackwoods, which takes you up to Cadillac Mountain, and it's about an 8-mile moderate trail. It is in and out, but it does loop around Cadillac Mountain before making your descent back to Blackwoods. Keep in mind that no RVs are allowed up at the Cadillac summit, and there are no public buses that take you up there either. So you have to take your own car or that ferry. Bear in mind that only some campgrounds are open after COVID. So the campgrounds on Mountain Desert Island are Blackwoods and Seawall. On Schoonic Peninsula, it's the Schoonic Woods Campground. And on Elu, it's Duck Harbor Landing. There is no backcountry camping. So there are tent pads in the campgrounds, and your tent must fit in the tent pad. Tree camping is not permitted, so all those hammock lovers, sorry, you're gonna have to pick a tent this time. No generators in B loop. Generators are only allowed in A loop between 8 to 10 a.m. and between 4 to 7 p.m. Quiet hours are between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. That's pretty nice. I have to admit, I'm not a generator user, and I have to admit that having them on is just rather disruptive. So sorry, RV generator users out there. You do have to pack up your food in hard containers, store them inside your vehicle, just make it easy on everyone. There are moose and black bears on the island, but they're rarely seen. Get into the campground site. So we chose Blackwoods, so that's the one that I'm gonna dive into for this video. Blackwoods, it's on like the southeast side of the island, the Mountain Desert Island, and it's coastal, as are most of the campgrounds there, like Seawall and some of the others on the peninsula and the island. In Blackwoods, there are 2 loops, A and B, 275 sites. 214 of those sites are for tents, 60 are for RVs. RVs are only allowed in Loop B. So in scoping out the campground, here are my favorites. A Loop, 3, 14, 16, 21, 27, 61, 67, 88, 94, 96, 101, 110, 112, 121, 122, 123, 126, 133, 138, 141, 149, 150, and in B Loop, 4, 6, 15, 50, 59, 61, 79, 95, 100, 111, 119. There are 11 accessible individual sites. It's A39, 54, 59, 60, 87, 88, 90, 131, B4, 64, 66, 68, 76, 77, and group site 3. And 29 sites have pull-through driveways. There are 4 group sites. Most sites are shady, I've told. Loop A has the majority of shady tent sites. Only 2 tents are allowed per site. There are no showers, but there are some paid shower facilities nearby. It's about a 1.5 mile walk from the campground. There are 11 toilet facilities in the campground and a dump station with water spigots located throughout the park. There are picnic tables and fire rings at each campsite, and the roads are paved. It's very important, and they stress this, don't make any cairns. Don't. There are ones there that point people in the right direction. If you build one for fun because you see some rocks around and you think that it's cute, it's not. It's going to point people in the wrong direction, and you don't want to do that. That's the last thing that people want when they're on a hike, is to get lost. So yeah, don't confuse people by building your own cairns. All right, last page. Woo. So along the shoreline, there are granite rocks there. They get extremely slippery with the waves that are crashing on them. Just be careful about when you're walking on that. Proper footwear is necessary. Just get yourself some of those swim shoes. Speaking of that, it's recommended to wear variable clothing, layer. It's gonna get hot, it's gonna get cold. You never know what's gonna happen there. Sometimes it's 80 degrees in the summer, and other times it's 30 degrees. I was up in Maine and on July 4th in like 2009 or something like that, and it was freezing. It was like 36 degrees or something outside. It was absolutely, as a Floridian, that was unheard of. Like, I'm over here sweating. If you notice that I have a little bit of a tan, a little bit of a sunburn, it's because the Woodsy couple have decided to paint our house. Yeah, on the outside of our house when it's like 100 degrees out here in Florida. Why? I don't know, but it's cute. It's looking cute. Yeah, it went from brown to white. So boop, 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 take some pictures. And yeah, so that's what's going on in our life. Anyway, that's why I'm a little pinkish. And if you notice this glow, it's because I got a new halo light. Welcome to the wide world of YouTubing, Therese. Anywho, layer up. Here are some general rules. Carry in, carry out. Don't disturb any rocks, animals, plant life. Don't bring any outside firewood. Use the fire rings. Drones are prohibited, and leash pets are allowed, so that's pretty cool. Things to do, bicycling. It's prohibited off-road and on trails, but there are plenty of gravel carriage roads. There's a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit. Motorized vehicles are not allowed, and e-bikes aren't allowed either. So Brian and I can't bring our one wheel and our Segway scooter. Bummed. We have to always look for that to see if they're allowed. So you never know if places are anti, but they're anti. There are tons of trails. There's a nice easy one around Jordan Pond. It's just a few miles long. There are 278 trails to choose from. That's crazy. Most of them are easy to moderate. There are a few hard ones. Do your research. Research on all trails. Check the comments. Because just because somebody rated it moderate or easy doesn't mean that there isn't some, incredible elevation that's gonna, completely take your breath away. So, make sure that you check the comments. There might be, a tree blocking the trail, just etc. Just do your research before you go out there. Be prepared. Cadillac Southridge Trail is 8 miles in total, and that's the one that we're probably gonna do. That's the one that's the in and out with the loop around Cadillac Mountain. So you can't swim in the ponds or at Eagle Lake. You have to stick to the coastal beaches. As I said, the campgrounds are coastal, so there's plenty of opportunities to take a dip. Swimming is seasonal, as you don't want to freeze to death. And the reason why they don't want you swimming in it is because they drink that water. So yeah, just stick to the ocean. The best places to swim are Echo Lake Beach, that's freshwater. You can also choose Sand Beach, which is saltwater. Check out the wild gardens of Acadia. Check out Beaver Dam Pond. Watch beavers do their thing. Take a boat tour. That's the best places to watch the seals play, I'm told. Check out Sand Beach for some good beaching. Check out Jordan Pond House. That's a restaurant there that serves some fantastic seafood. Bar Harbor, it's popular. You can check it out. It's a bit, at this point, kind of touristy. It also gets really busy, but it is a place if you wanted to catch a cruise or one of those boat tours. And that's all I got. Make sure to like and subscribe and all of that jazz. I hope you found some goodies in this video and that you're gonna plan your own trip to Acadia National Park. And if you do so, go ahead and drop down in the comments. Let me know if that's what your plans are, when you plan on going, when you plan on booking, because that's the most important part with this whole 2 months in advance window. So that's, a little bit difficult when you're trying to plan with flights and everything. But if you live up there and you've been, let us know in the comments how it was and what we should do, and if I told you all the right things to do, like the gardens and going biking and all of that good stuff. So hopefully you guys make it to the summit of Cadillac Mountain. That's definitely one of the things that's on my bucket list here in 2022. Wow, I can't believe it. We're already here in 2022, right? It's crazy. I'm turning 40 this year. I'm going to the beach to celebrate this month in a couple of weeks. And, I'm just super stoked to start planning some more trips out there, especially when it's nice and cool. Right now, it's really not. I mean, when you look at the temperatures across the United States, it's not looking so nice. So, maybe a trip to, Alaska or Canada. I think they're finally going to allow us back in there in a couple of days here if you're vaccinated. So yay, we can go. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So until next time, I hope you guys remember to keep it woodsy, like and subscribe, smash that like button. Yeah. Anyway, bye. check out my other videos.